The shocking state of bank reserves right now is something you absolutely need to understand. You might think that your money is safe, but there's something hiding beneath the surface that could affect you. By the end of this video, I'll show you why this could change everything you thought you knew about the stability of banks and, more importantly, your savings. Stick with me through this because what I'm about to reveal is something you definitely want to hear. First, let's talk about the actual state of bank reserves. Historically, banks have been required to hold a certain percentage of their deposits as reserves. This used to be a relatively simple process. Banks had to keep a specific portion in reserve to protect against sudden withdrawals. But here's where it gets interesting. These reserves have been dropping, and at an alarming rate. In fact, as of recent data, some banks are holding less than half of what they used to. Why is this a big deal? Because this leaves banks in a much riskier position than many of us realize. If too many people withdraw their funds at the same time, banks could be in serious trouble. Now you might be thinking, well, they're still holding something in reserves, right? Sure, but here's the kicker. A large portion of what's considered a bank's reserves now is actually in the form of loans and other assets, not cash sitting in a vault. This shift is crucial because it means that banks have less actual liquid cash to handle unexpected events. And this could leave you vulnerable if the unthinkable happens, whether it's a financial crisis, a sudden economic downturn, or even a bank run. I've done extensive research on this, and what I've found is even more shocking. The reserves of the largest U.S. banks are not just shrinking, they're being actively manipulated. What do I mean by that? Banks have been getting creative with their reserve requirements, pushing the limits of what they can legally hold in reserves while still maintaining the illusion of stability. This has allowed them to funnel more money into investments and loans, which can be profitable in the short term, but it comes at a huge cost in terms of long-term security. This strategy is a double-edged sword, and it could create a massive financial crisis if things go wrong. Let's dive into what this means for you. With lower reserves, banks are more susceptible to large withdrawals. Think of it this way. If too many people want to take out their savings at once, there's not enough cash on hand to cover everyone. This could spark a chain reaction, causing more people to panic and rush to the bank, leading to what's known as a bank run. If this happens on a large scale, it can bring down even the most well-established institutions. But it's not just about a potential bank run. What many people don't realize is that when banks have lower reserves, they have less ability to lend money. This creates a credit crunch, making it harder for businesses and individuals to get loans. The economy grinds to a halt. And if you're someone who's relying on loans for things like home buying, starting a business, or even expanding your investments, this could be a huge blow to your plans. So, why aren't we hearing more about this? The truth is, banks don't want you to know how precarious their situation is. They want you to feel comfortable leaving your money with them, believing that everything is fine. But trust me, everything is not fine. There's a storm brewing, and the state of bank reserves is one of the biggest red flags. Here's the critical part that you need to understand. The state of bank reserves is not something that will improve overnight. The changes we're seeing today are the result of years of financial decisions made to maximize profit, but these decisions have put the system on shaky ground. It's only a matter of time before this catches up with us. And when it does, the consequences could be far-reaching. Not just for banks, but for your personal financial security. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what you can do about this. The first step is simple. Diversify. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket, especially if that basket is a bank that's struggling to maintain adequate reserves. Look into options like gold IRAs, real estate, or other safe investments that are less reliant on the health of banks. Protect your wealth in a way that doesn't leave you exposed to the whims of the banking system. To wrap it up, the shocking state of bank reserves is something that should concern all of us. The risk is higher than ever, and it's crucial that you take action to protect your financial future. If you found this video valuable and want more content like this, make sure to hit subscribe, stay informed, stay protected, and I'll see you in the next one.